Orders in Bulgarian. This is one topic that actually we hear every single day around us. And today we're going to explain you how to form it, and we will tell you some of the most common verbs that you can see in the command form. We call it orders. Why? It is, imagine in English when you tell someone, hey, come here. So in a way, when you say come here, you're giving the person an order or you're commanding him. Or in Bulgarian, we call this повелително наклонение, okay? The imperative. So many ways to call it, but the most important thing for you is to understand how to use it and in which situations. Of course, the command forms, they're a bit higher level of Bulgarian, so we won't be able to explain in one video all the details and all the specific things. If you ever have any questions, let us know in the comments below or send us a message and we can tell you what more you can include in your everyday life speech. But we'll try with the basics now so that you can sound a bit more Bulgarian, or at least you understand a bit better when people around you speak. So, in Bulgarian, to form the command form or повелително наклонение, you need a verb, okay? So you take a verb and how to form it. Listen carefully. You take the last letter away. For example, the verb кажа, to say, second form of the verb, perfective. And you take the last letter away. Кажа, you take a away, okay? So no a. What you're left with, it's kaj. So what's the last letter? J. J, it's a consonant. Consonant, I explain because I know it's not clear, not only for you, but for many people. It's everything that's not a vowel, so everything that's not a, o, e, I, yeah, all the other letters. So, if it ends with a consonant, you just add e for t. So if you want to command one person, you, t, you add e. So, кажа, a away, кажи. The stress is also very important with the command forms with the order. So, кажа, кажи. Okay? Here it's important because in Bulgarian we have T and V. It's a whole different story, whole different video when we use T and V. But long story short, T, it's when it's one person, or when it's informal, when you address him in an informal way. V, it's when you're when you address a group of people, or when you address one person, and it's the polite way when you don't know the person, okay? So if you want to say the command form in V, you say кажете. So you add ete in the end. You can use this formula, let's call it like this. I like saying it like in mathematics, you know, you have certain rules and whatever the task, you apply the same rules. And here, whenever you have a verb and you're left with a consonant, you add either e or ete. Let's take other verbs. For example, обадя се, to call someone. Обадя се, say it's reflexive so it doesn't count. Обадя, you take ya away and you're left with the consonant. Very easy. Обади се, обадете се. Okay? Then, for example, the verb пиша. I told you I'll give you verbs that we use every single day so that it can be helpful for you. So пиша, a away, пиши, пишете. Чета, to read, чети, четете. But we're not done yet. There is a second way to form command forms. How so? It is with the verbs that you have actually a vowel in the end. For example, слушам, to listen. Okay? Слушам, you take m away and you're left with a. A, it's a vowel. Okay? So if you're left with a vowel, a, o, e, I, then you just add и кратко and it gets слушай if you want to address one person, T. If you want to address many people in V, you say слушайте. Okay? Another verb, пия. Пия, to drink. You take last letter ya away, you're left with a vowel E, and you say pee for you, drink, or pite. Peja, pia, peya. I know they sound almost the same, very different, yes. Pia, to drink, peya, to sing. But anyway, how we form the command form? Peya, pay, peite, for plural. Stoja, stay at one place, yeah. Stoja, or stay here, yeah. Stoi if you address one person, stoite if you address many people. With the command forms, like with almost anything in Bulgarian, you have some small exceptions, and I'll give you probably the most important, the most common of them. I'm sure if you live in Bulgaria, you have definitely heard one way or another vish, which means what? Look, okay? So here it's the verb vidya, which transforms to vish, so it's a completely irregular form, no logic behind it, you just need to learn it this way. Eat something, this definitely mothers use a lot with their children. Yash, eat, yash. So, yash, yashte. Vish, vishte. Yeah, with zh in the end, okay? A bit strange, but just learn these forms and just use them how they are. If you're telling someone, come here, completely no logic at all. Ella. The verb is different. I'll not even tell you what you need to remember. It's Ella, come here. If you want to tell someone, hold this, okay? Hold the bow or the bag. Дръж. Дръж, дръжте. So at least here this is easy. If you say to vie, you say te in the end. And the last exception I'll give you today, enter or go out. If you want to tell someone, yeah, come in, enter, влез. Влез and влезте for vie. And if you want to tell someone, go out of the room, again, probably some parents with their children, for example, you can say излез and излезте. Okay? Be careful when you use the command forms or orders in Bulgarian. Of course, it's always good if you can add in the end moля, please. Because anyway, keep in mind, even if you use the correct grammar form in Bulgarian, these forms, they're not very polite. Disclaimer. So, not very good to use them. You can just say, please do this, or please come in, please get out, I have some work to do, yeah? And keep in mind, of course, there are other ways to say these things, but the command forms could be used with close people, relatives, family members, friends, or when we joke, when you're very close to someone. Let us know in the comments if you want to ask us some questions. We're here to help you. And if you ever want to expand your knowledge, keep in mind we have group classes, individual lessons, speaking practice sessions, quite new. So follow us for more or send us a message if you want to know more information about the classes.